Listen, I think Chisora put it best when he said he's got a product. He's got a product, and people love the product that he comes to bring. He brings entertainment, and I think he understands his niche. He understands, and that's one of the key things in boxing. You got to understand what your USP is. Why are people tuning in to watch him?
Fingers crossed, it's not a painful night for him, because I do think if I was to put money on one, I would edge to Pulev. I think Pulev's the fresher of the two. He's coming off a good win against Jerry Forrest. Pulev fought for a world title a year and a half ago. That's where Pulev thinks he is. So I think Pulev, just for me, edges it, and I think he probably might stop Chisora.
David, come back with that. Come on. Well, yeah.
One second. Did Chisora watch this? What I really meant to say, yeah.
Yeah, nice knowing you. I've put up a video speaking with Anthony Joshua, and it's had...
By the way, well done on getting that interview. I was with October at that press conference, and she was like, she wants to get AJ, and I was like, good luck, because there was hundreds of cameras, and I left, and I always see his AJ pop up on your Instagram, and I was like, determined. That's like nothing stopping me.
That's it. That's that level of hard work, isn't it? That's that level of determination, as you put it. And end of the day, it's for the people that are watching as well. She puts in that solid work, and your interviews are always 10 out of 10. So, you know what I mean? I think Anthony Joshua is one of the most overanalyzed human beings, like in sport. Like every single thing is so cross-examined when it comes to him, especially within boxing. I don't know if anybody is looked at with that degree of scrutiny.
Usyk's an Olympic gold medalist. He's got one of the best amateur records you can think of. He's a unified cruiserweight champion, undisputed, now unified heavyweight champion. This is such a task for AJ, but then that's the good thing, because if he pulls it off, then all the flowers are going to be there. The rewards will be there. The rewards will be there. And then we get the Fury fight.
They will find a reason to say why he won.
If he can just land that right hand from God, if he can land that clean, can Usyk take the power of an 18-stone AJ? Well, I need to see it. If he can, then I'm leaving the arena. If I see AJ hit Usyk flush in Saudi and Usyk don't move, I'm on that plane. I'm on the plane to Nigeria. I'm not even coming back to the UK. We haven't got long to wait. August 20th. I'm trying to set it now. You're coming, right? You're going to be there?
If I can find a sponsor to pay for me to get on an aeroplane, then I'll be there.
We'll put it out there now. There must be a sponsor. That kind of content you're going to put out, because you're going to do 100 interviews. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't want to put a sponsor on that, then they're silly. You know what I mean? Can you have a word of JD or what, Mr. JD?
I'm gonna speak to a couple people. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna speak to my people. My people will hopefully speak to your people. We'll get something. Hopefully, we get something popping. You know what I'm saying? This has got to be the clip that goes before every interview you do in Saudi. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna happen.
The seasoning, you know. Let's get the suns out, only because of the... Nah, that don't really make no difference. No, because it's bright anyway, it's sunlight anyway, so...
You want to do it facing that way, or is it okay?
No, it's cool. It's cool. The only thing I'll ask is that I might need to sit in the middle, only because I've got one mic.
Yeah.
And this thing's going to time us, so 20 minutes.
You're in the gym.
Yeah.
We're in shape.
I'm always in the gym. I'm a gym freak. I'm a freak. I'm a freak in the gym, and I'm a freak. No, I best edit this out.
She said, no, I'm joking, but she ain't.
Yeah, a little bit of truth in every joke. A little bit of truth in every joke.
Little bit of truth in every joke. But we're here to talk. Well, finally. Ade.
Yes.
Oladipo.
Yes.
David Alorka.
Talk to me.
I am so happy to be here with you, pair.
Africans are in the building.
You know what I'm saying? There's melanin in the air.
and a lot of beard oil in the air as well.
I don't usually feel intimidated, but...
Yeah, you should be.
We're going to talk boxing.
Oh, yes, of course, yes.
Because obviously that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
October Red Boxing here with you two lovely gentlemen. Interviewers in your own right. I liked us to mix it up. October Red likes to mix it up with different interviewers to bring a little bit of a different point of view from our kind of point of view. Do you know what I mean? I know you've got your own pod, you're active on there.
Yeah.
But talk to me then a little bit about this fight, Chisora Pulev, and I'm going to go straight to the headline to start off with. Your thoughts on it after today's presser?
You know what? And when the fight was initially announced, I remember saying to people, good fight. And I got shut down. I'd be like, no, you're just saying it because you work for the zone. And I'm not trying to say it's going to be fight of the year. This isn't Rigondeaux versus Lomachenko. We're not, but both fighters will just come and fight. And I think we saw it at the presser. Both of them won it. You know, both of them are not going to sit behind a jab. You know, this isn't going to be back foot fighting. They're going to go to the center of the ring and they're just going to have it. And look, that could benefit Chisora, that could benefit Pulev. But I think the fans that are going to watch it on the zone or be at the arena, I think they're going to get their money's worth. And look, when have we ever really been let down by Chisora? I mean, you can probably only think of a couple of fights, maybe Caballel years ago in Monaco, but Chisora, for as limited as he might be, gives his best. And that's all you can ask for fighters nowadays. Go in there and kick ass, and Chisora promises to do that, and I think he will do that.
David?
Listen, I think Chisora put it best when he said he's got a product. He's got a product, and people love the product that he comes to bring. He brings entertainment, and I think he understands his niche. He understands, and that's one of the key things in boxing. You got to understand what your USP is. Why are people tuning in to watch him? Because there's an air of unpredictability all the way throughout fight week. But when it comes to fight night, you are certified entertainment. You are certified he ain't going running. That he's going to be swinging, that he's going to be constant from round one, from first bell, he's going to be absolutely on it. We're not going to see a boxing masterclass when it comes to Chisora, but we know exactly what we're going to see, and that's why people tune in. That's the reason why, you know, people buy their tickets when they come to see him fight. He knows that, and that's the reason as to why, you know what I mean, I'm super looking forward to this one.
And that's the thing with Derek. I nearly called him David then. That's the thing with Derek. He always brings the entertainment. It doesn't matter if he wins the fight, win, lose or draw. Yeah. People want to see him. I've been there at the fights. I've heard the crowd cheering. They're singing the song, you know, when he comes out, and he just basks in it.
Look, and you can look at his record and understand how true that statement you said is. Nowadays, if you lose one or two fights, people like to kind of kick you down and you're done, throw them away, you're rubbish. Chisora's lost, 12, 13 fights? 12? It's crazy when you think, like, how? How is he able to, and if this was a Sky platform, it'd probably be on pay-per-view. How is he able to still sell so many tickets, be headline in main events, and he said it, you know, in the press conference today, getting paid big money because you know what you're getting. Like David said, it's entertaining. I mean, and that sport is like that. You know, there's sometimes you just want to see a bloody phone booth fight. Yeah. You know, but sometimes if you want to watch those superior boxing skills, you can go and watch the flyweight guys do that. Sometimes you want to see the heavyweights go for it. And I think we've got two guys on Saturday that's going to go for it. And I don't mind that. I mean, I don't mind that. The co-main event, Madrimov versus Sora, you might get a bit more technical. This one, though, you're going to get what you want. You want a slugfest. You know what I mean? If you're ringside, I'm lucky to be ringside, you might get a bit of blood on your shirt. You know, you might get a little bit of sweat for you. But that's what we want, and I'm looking forward to it.
You know, you've just touched on something there that is interesting. If it's other heavyweights, they lose one or two fights, they're almost like put in the bin.
Yep.
Derek Chisora has got, I don't know, like you said, the package, what it is. Yeah, and he still manages to bring people to the table.
He said, I think he said it best today. He came with a brilliant analogy. He was talking about Formula One, and he said, look, end of the day, what? So what? Somebody loses a fight in the heavyweight division, they're like, he's out, he should retire. Dylan lost, they were like, yeah, he should probably pack it in. This person, it's like, who's going to be left then? Like, so many drivers driving Formula One, and over the last 10 years, there's only been a certain amount of race winners. We had a race winner, there was a race winner this weekend who's been driving for years, and he's won his first Grand Prix ever. And so it's like, yes, there are people that are in it that bring the entertainment, that bring something else, that bring a different edge. And you know what I mean? That's he knows his lane. That's the key thing. He ain't trying to say, listen, after this, I'm going for a world title. I'm going to no. And at the same time, he's not hoodwinking anyone. No. There's when it comes to Derek, there's no hoodwinking whatsoever. He is straight down the line. This is what I'm about. Pay me the money. All right, I'm here for the cash. And as long as you pay me, I'm be here. As long as the fans want to see me fight and see what I bring. You know what I mean? But for us that work in boxing, we want to see him. We want to see him win. We want to see how much he's got left in the tank. We want to see competitive fights that he's in. But he's very, very clear and sure on what he brings to the table, and I like that.
We talk about that, and we talk about competitive fights. What has he got left? Eddie sort of like alluded to the fact that this is a do or die fight for both of them. They're at the tail end of their careers.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, obviously one of them's going to lose. The scenario is for a home fighter if he loses, because Pulev is not from here. We haven't got an allegiance to him as such. But what happens when Derek loses? Because everyone said, yeah, do or die. I know he's not stopping until he comes out in a coffin. That's the way I see it with Derek. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, I was at the, I was lucky enough to work at the Parker fight, and he took a lot of punishment in that.
Yeah.
And I remember after that fight saying, okay, enough's enough. Just because I know him on a personal note as well. So I'm looking at him thinking, I don't want you to be one of those fighters in 10 years that, you know, struggling to talk. And we see that side of the sport. We love the sport, but we know the dangers of it. So after the Parker fight, I was like, okay, enough's enough. Or if he is going to continue, give him an easy one. Like, honestly, give him an easy one where he can just bash up. You know, he's got Pulev. And we all saw Pulev today. Pulev, what, 6'4"?
Yeah.
Pulev big.
He's a unit.
He's a unit. I mean, Chisora's not small. Chisora's a ball. And Pulev manhandled him in that wrestling match. I was like, oh, God. I think that got to the point where even Chisora was like, yo, what's this?
What's happening?
Remember that bit in Predator where Arnie and Carl Weathers do the arm thing? And Carl Weathers was like, yo, what's going on? It was a bit like that. And I was like,
Yeah, it's supposed to go.
and it was a bit like that. So, look, I want Chisora to win desperately. But if he does lose, then I guess there has to be some serious conversations. The problem for him, as much as Eddie says, I won't book him again, Sky will book him.
Yeah.
BT will book him.
Yeah.
He can go to America because he's got a big name and do the Kaunaki fight, so the Ruiz fight. So he won't stop because there's so much options out there, and options equal money. And I know Derek likes the pound note. So, yeah, he'll continue. But fingers crossed it's not a painful night for him, because I do think if I was to put money on one, I would edge to Pulev. I think Pulev's the fresher of the two. He's coming off a good win against Jerry Forrest. Pulev fought for a world title a year and a half ago. That's where Pulev thinks he is. So I think Pulev, just for me, edges it, and I think he probably might stop Chisora.
David, come back with that. Come on. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think
One second. Does Chisora watch this? What I really meant to say, yeah.
Yeah, nice knowing you.
I think a lot of people saying, yeah, the smart money is on Pulev in this fight. But when it comes down to it, I always go with my heart, because I always err on the side of hope. Do you know what I mean? So I'm backing Derek. I think we're going to see what he's got left in the tank in this one. And I think deep down he knows as well. He knows that he's got to put on a great performance, which he's practically going to do anyway. But that win is essential. Yeah,
100%. And I know we can go and we can talk about these two for ages, but I know that you two are men that are in demand. So I'm going to skip forward. And I'm going to skip forward to Anthony Joshua, the Usyk Anthony Joshua rematch. Now, I've put up a video speaking with Anthony Joshua, and it's had...
By the way, well done on getting that interview. I was with October at that press conference, and she was like, she wants to get AJ, and I was like, good luck, because there was hundreds of cameras. And I left, and I always see his AJ pop up on your Instagram, and I was like, determined. That's like nothing stopping me.
That's it. That's that level of hard work, isn't it? That's that level of determination, as you put it. And end of the day, it's for the people that are watching as well. She puts in that solid work, and your interviews are always 10 out of 10. So, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Right.
But let's move back to the boxing. Your thoughts on that then? Because a lot of people were commenting saying that he looks like he's scared. Yeah. He looks like he's lost already. Yeah. There was a lot of positives, but I'm going to pull out those. What are your thoughts on? I mean, you were there. What are your thoughts on that presser?
I think Anthony Joshua is one of the most over-analyzed human beings, like in sport. Like every single thing is so cross-examined when it comes to him, especially within boxing. I don't know if anybody is looked at with that degree of scrutiny. And to some degree, yes, that can affect your mental. But I think sometimes there's a lot that's being read into it because for various reasons. One, because it sells. Okay. You know what I mean? People, you know, it sells, it gets views, it gets eyeballs on it. And also because people only get to see him in like little short bursts, it's like we've got to extrapolate everything out of this 1 minute or this one day that we get to see him in like 3 months. And so that's the reason why people look at so many things to that degree. I don't look at things to that extent. And at the same time, because look, I was there when people were saying the exact same thing before he fought Ruiz the second time. He was so written off, yeah. He was so written, even when he said, oh, yeah, it was lucky, it was a punch from the gods and so on and so forth. Listen, the amount of scrutiny that he got for one saying that it was a punch from the gods. Oh, seeing as though he said it's a punch from the gods, it means that he's not going to be able to, he's not going to change anything in this fight. He's coming in the exact same way. People always like to knock, and I think sometimes that's a part of the fact that we're British. Like, it's a British thing. Like, we raise people up, and then once they get to a certain place, it's like, oh, it's time to knock them down and kick them down. But especially when they're down anyway, people are really trying to go for him from that perspective. But make no mistake, this is a very, very tough ask. A very, 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 very tough ask. A very, very, very tough fight. But I genuinely believe that he's got the tools necessary to make it happen. I genuinely believe he does. And I know a lot of people are like, I don't know, we're going to see repeat. But like I said, I just remember the exact same vibe with Ruiz. I know people are going to say, but Ruiz, he's not the same as Usyk. Usyk's a next level. He's not an elite. But listen, remember how lyrical people were waxing about Ruiz when he beat Joshua? People were waxing the fastest hands in boxing. Oh my goodness, listen, it was unbelievable the way in which people were waxing, and things are forgotten like that. But I think he's got what it takes to make it happen.
The fickle sport, Ade.
Boy, this one's difficult for me. Let me get that mic there. This one's difficult for me. This one's difficult for me because look, I'm a massive AJ fan. Obviously the Nigerian side, but just in general, what he's done for the sport is crazy. It really is. You speak to people like Tony Bellew, and Tony will tell you the money he was earning before AJ and then after AJ.
Okay.
Like, everyone's price has gone up. Everyone's pocket has got a bit thicker. I just look at Usyk. You know when they say the people are overlooking or maybe looking at AJ too much? It's because they're looking at Usyk and looking at his body language, and this man's almost like a serial killer. Honestly, you look at him and he whistles, he walks in, he's skipping, he's laughing, and you're like, does this man know he's coming to fight? Does this man know there's a war in his home country? Like, he just seems so switched on. It's scary. And people will say it's not Andy Ruiz, because it's not. Yeah. Usyk's an Olympic gold medalist. He's got one of the best amateur records you can think of. He's a unified cruiserweight champion, undisputed, now unified heavyweight champion. This is such a task for AJ, but then that's the good thing, because if he pulls it off, then all the flowers are going to be there. The rewards will be there. The rewards will be there. And then we get the Fury fight.
They will find a reason to say why he won. He will not be 100% credit given.
Maybe so. I think it's an incredibly difficult task for Anthony Joshua. Yeah. I mean, you're changing trainer. And let's be honest, if he gets hit, he's going to revert back to type. All that stuff that Robert Garcia will teach him. Someone hits you, like, okay, 1 second. We need to go back to what we need to do. We've seen it with so many fighters before, but I would make Usyk a favourite, but I'm never ruling out Anthony Joshua. If he can just land that right hand from God, if he can land that clean, can Usyk take the power of an 18-stone AJ? Well, I need to see it. If he can, then I'm leaving the arena. If I see AJ hit Usyk flush in Saudi and Usyk don't move, I'm on that plane. I'm on the plane to Nigeria. I'm not even coming back to the UK. But we need to see it first. Can Usyk take AJ's power? Because AJ didn't land clean in Tottenham. Didn't really land clean. Can he? We'll see. Can AJ take Usyk's power? I don't know, man. Towards the end of that fight, AJ's legs were going a bit left and right. So I can't wait for it. We haven't got long to wait. August 20th. I'm trying to set it now. You're coming, right? You're going to be there?
If I can find a sponsor to pay for me to get on an aeroplane, then I'll be there.
We'll put it out there now. There must be a sponsor. That kind of content you're going to put out, because you're going to do 100 interviews. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't want to put a sponsor on that, then they're silly. You know what I mean? Can you have a word of JD or what, Mr. JD?
I'm gonna speak to a couple people. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna speak to my people. My people will hopefully speak to your people. We'll get something. Hopefully, we get something popping. You know what I'm saying? This has got to be the clip that goes before every interview you do in Saudi. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to happen.
Well, there you go. I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I want the viewers to ask for more.
Yeah.
And this is what we do. We give them a little bit of a taste. It's been a pleasure. The first time, but definitely won't be the last.
No doubt.
Ade.
1 second. I've been supporting her. Like, come on, on my YouTube channel, I probably mention her more than anyone. I say the grind. When I talk about the grind, I always say October Red's grind. Because October Red don't live in London, you know.
No.
People might think you live around the corner. She doesn't live in London. She travels her own money to come to these things, get interviews. Come on, let's support her, man.
fair.
And there aren't many ladies doing this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a man's thing, innit? There aren't many doing it. In fact, you're probably the only lady here today, weren't you?
No, there's
Another lady, another one. See? So we got to support as well. So let's all get behind her. I'm behind you, you know that, right? That sounds wrong, shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm out
There's
of it.
behind and there's behind and there's behind. And there you have it. October Red Boxing with David and Ade.
She forgot her names.
No, I do that.
She
I
forgot her
always
names.
pause.
Okay, sorry.
I always, there's always that pause with me. It's not Alzheimer's, I promise.
Can you do it again then?
October Red Boxing here with David Alorka and Ade Aladipo. Until the next time, thank you so much. We're doing it again.
Oh, certified. Certified.
We just brought them in with that one. That was just a... Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.